Hi guys, welcome back to Wakacode, and now here in this video we'll discuss about loops. See, why do we use loops? First of all, why do we use loops? Because if you want to repeat a block of code several times, instead of writing the code again, we can use loops. For example, I'll explain you with an example. For example, you want to write c equal to c plus 10 assignment operator. Using assignment operator, you want to evaluate, you have declared like int c equal to 2. You have declared like int c equal to 2, and you want to perform this operation for 4 times. For 4 times, instead of writing the code again and again, you write c equal to c plus 10, then then again you'll write c equal to c plus 10, then again you'll write c equal to c plus 10, c equal to c plus 10, c equal to c plus 10. You can write like this. What will be the output? C equal to c plus 10. Here the c value will be 12. Here the c value will be 22. Here 32, 42, 52. At last c value will be 52. Instead of writing this, instead of doing this repetitive work, you can use loops. Loops means, yeah, there will be a condition in the loop. See, there will be a condition in the loop. If that condition satisfies, see, for I'll explain you with while loop. See, I'm taking while loop. While, the basic structure of while loop is this. While there will be a condition input here, is input here. If that condition is true, then this loop is going to be executed. The block of code which is written in this curly braces is going to be executed. If this condition is false, then the compiler exits the loop. The compiler exits the loop if the condition is false. Okay. I am taking like int I equal to 0. I'm taking like int I equal to 0, and I'm introducing while loop. Int c. See, I'm introducing while loop while I is less than 4. I'll explain you what is this. While I is less than 4, do what I say. What I am saying to do, c equal to c plus 10, then I plus plus. See, this is the basic structure of while loop. I'll explain you now. See, I've given like int I equal to 0. I'm taking until I less than 4. For I equal to 0, initially the value of I is 0 here. Okay, try to understand. Initially the value of I is 0. Okay, here the value of I will be 0 in the first step. In the first step of the loop, the value of I is 0. I is 0. Okay, did the condition satisfy? I is less than 4. Yeah, 0 is less than 4. The condition is satisfied, and we can enter the loop. And it evaluates c equal to c plus 10. What is the value of c? Sorry, I've forgotten to give. C equal to 2. What is the value of c? C is 2. Then here the value of c will be 12. Here the value of c will be 12. Then I plus plus. After evaluating this, I plus plus means I value is 1 now, right? I value is 1 now. In the second step, now the loop runs again until this condition breaks. Until the given condition breaks, the loop keeps repeating again and again. I value 1. For example, now I value is 1 while I is less than 4, c equal to c plus 10, I plus plus. Now I value is 1. 1 is less than 4. This condition is true, right? This condition is true. So the compiler enters the loop, and here the value of c will become, in the first step the value of c is 12. 12 plus 10, 22. and the value of c is 22 now. Then again I plus plus, now I becomes 2. This is the second step. In the third step, what is the I value? I value is 2. And while I is less than 4 means, yeah, the condition is true because 2 is less than 4. The compiler enters the loop c equal to c plus 10. It is given like c equal to c plus 10. The value of c is evaluated as 22 in the before step. So the value of c becomes, here the value of c becomes 32. And then I plus plus. Now what is I value? I value is 3. Now in the fourth step, the value of I is evaluated as 3. The condition is true. Here also the condition satisfied because I is less than 4. 3 is less than 4. Yeah, the condition is true and the compiler enters the loop given like c equal to c plus 10. Now c equal to c plus 10, the c value becomes 42 because in the previous step we have got c as 32. Here c equal to c plus 10 means c equal to c plus 10. Here 32 plus 10, 42. C value becomes 42. And then I plus plus. Now the value of I is 4. See, in the fifth step, the value of I is 4 and the condition is like while I is less than 4, right? What is the value of I now? I is 4 and 4 is not less than 4. 4 is equals to 4. So the condition is not satisfied and the compiler exits the loop. This is how a while loop runs or a loop runs. The condition up to the given condition is false. The loop runs again and again. Yeah, here we have seen, see here the condition failed and the compiler exits the loop. The value of c is 42, right? See, I'll explain you once again. I is 0. I have taken like I equal to 0. I is less than 4. Here how many steps, how many iterations? The steps are known as iterations. Okay, the steps are known as iterations. How many iterations we have generally here? Here I, for I equal to 0, 1 iteration, I equal to 1 second iteration, I equal to 2 third iteration, I equal to 3 fourth iteration, and this many times the loop is going to run. 1 2 3 4 times the loop is going to run. Okay, and we have satisfied our initial initial condition, like the loop I wanted to write the condition 4 times. Here the condition is meeting 4 times. Okay, for I equal to 0 1 time, I equal to 1 second time, I equal to 2 third time, I equal to 4, I equal to 3 fourth time. Okay, don't think like the fourth iteration means the I value must be 4. No, not like that. The condition is satisfied and the compile and the iteration goes, the step goes forward. That's it. Don't compare the value of I to the step or the iterationth value. Okay, because the here the see here the iteration, this is first iteration, but the value of 0, the value of I is 0. That's okay. Here the value of I is 1, but it is second iteration. Okay, don't compare the value of I with the value of the iteration or the number of iteration or the number of step. I think you got this. For example, you want to do like that, then take I equal to 1, initialize I with 1 and put I is less than or equal to 4. Yeah, now the value of I and the step of the I and the number of the iteration remains same. See, if I've initialized like int I equal to 1, I have put condition like while I is less than or equal to 4. You can make any condition possible here. See, this is relational operator. This is relational operators. I've discussed with you in the previous video. If the first iteration will be I equal to 1, yeah, that's true. Second iteration I equal to 2, 2 is less than 4, that's true. Third iteration I equal to 3, yeah, that's true. Fourth iteration I equal to 4, even that's true because I have given like less than or equal to 4. Okay, main goal, the goal of my goal is to evaluate that block of code. What is the block of code? C plus equal to 10, c equal to c plus 10. I have to evaluate this 4 number of times. That's the main goal. if I take I equal to 0, I'll put a condition like I less than 4. Then four iterations are possible here. Okay, here I have initialized like I equal to 1. I'll make like I is less than or equal to 4. Yeah, here also 4 iterations are there. You can initialize like int I equal to 2, and you can put like I less than or equal to 6. Yeah, here also 4 iterations are possible. The value of I doesn't matter, the number of steps are matter, because I've given like the number of steps or the number of iterations must be 4. I want to repeat the block of code 4 number of times, so I can initialize I with any value and I can add 4 to it and put a condition like that. Okay, I have taken like I equal to -1 and I will implement like I less than 3. That's okay, because for first iteration I value will be -1. See, I've taken like I equal to -1 and I want 4 number of iterations. I less than 3, I'll put the condition like this, and now 4 iterations are possible, because in first iteration I equal to -1, the condition is satisfied. I equal to 0, the condition is satisfied. The next step I equal to 1, the condition is satisfied. The next step I equal to 2, the condition is satisfied. See, 4 times the iterations are done. 4 times your block of code is being implemented. Yeah, that the main goal is that don't compare the value of I with the number of iteration. Okay, and you have to keep I plus plus at the last. Okay, otherwise you will get an infinite loop, because see, if you didn't put I plus plus here, the same value of I is going to dump again here. Okay, if you didn't keep this, see, for some time hide this. I have hide this. If you give I equal to 1 in the first step, see, in the first step I is, the value of I is 1, and you didn't kept I plus plus. So the after executing this code, the value of I is again 1. Again it is satisfied, it is not incremented. Again the block of code is being implemented. Again the value of 1 only goes here. The condition is true. The value of 1 less than or equal to 4 is always true, and the code and the compiler doesn't get a false statement or doesn't exits the loop. It meets the condition every time, and the this code is being implemented infinite times. This code is being implemented infinite times. You have to increment this to give a break to the loop. You have to implement I plus plus or I minus minus according to the required condition. I think you understood the while loop. We'll see it in like statement hash include ios stream using name space std int main int I equal to see, I'll write the code in compiler. Okay, again like int I equal to 1. I've given like int c equal to 2, while I'm introducing while loop while I is less than or equal to 4. C plus equal to 10. C equal to C plus 10. I think you got this. See this, what this is the shorthand notation for this. Okay, this is the shorthand notation for this. Just 10 I plus plus. If you didn't keep I plus plus, the you'll get an infinite loop. The loop keeps running multiple times, and there is no halt for the loop or break for the loop. Okay, then see out after the loop, see out I want to print what is the c value. $42. See, you have got this. The loop kept running 4 times. Okay, now I'll change the value of I. I'll change the value of I as 0. And now here, see, if I keep this condition still equal to symbol, if I keep I less than or equal to 4, the loop keeps running 5 times, because see, for the first, the value of I is 0, that's true. The value of I is 1, okay, 2 true, 3 true, and 4 also true. See, 5 times the iteration is possible. So I'll keep like I is less than 4. Okay, when the value of I is 4, the loop terminates or the loop breaks, because 4 is not less than 4, 4 is equal to 4, right? I've changed the value of I, so I've changed the condition also. The main motto of my main motto is to make the iteration 4 times. See, the output is 42. If I change like the value of I is, I have initialized like 10, I've kept like I is less than 15. See, the main motto of my is to I have to make iteration 4 times. That's it. The value I keep the value of, let it be, the value of I will be 1000. I'll keep condition like I is less than or equal to 1004, or I'll keep condition like I is less than 1005. That's going to work. Then I is less than 14, right? Actually, because the value of 10 is being counted. See, 42. I think you understood this. This is while loop, and now we'll see for loop. We'll see for loop like what is the syntax of while loop? While there will be a condition here, there will be a block of code what I wanted to write here, and this is the condition. This is the basic syntax of a while loop, right? Here what you will get, here you will get the condition. If the condition is true, the loop is going to evaluate it, going to be evaluated. If the condition is false, the compiler enters the next line directly. This will not be included, or this will not be outputted as well. We'll see for loop. The syntax of for loop is for initialization. This is initialization, condition, increment or decrement, block of code is written here. This is the basic syntax of for loop. I'll explain each and every term what I have written here: initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. For I'll explain like I'll say for int I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. See, I've initialized my variable here itself in the loop. This is initialization. I've kept a condition like I is less than 4. This is condition, and this is increment or decrement. You can increment or you can decrement based on your requirements. Here we have to increment because I value is from 0 to 4. Okay, if I have initialized like I equal to 4, see, I'll explain also where decrement, we can use even decrement in loops. For I've given like for int I equal to 4. Now I'll explain with while loop. While I is greater than 0, this is the condition. I've initialized like I equal to 4. Write a block of code and I minus minus. I think you got this. Initially the value is 4, the value of I is 4. Then after meeting its first condition, 4 is greater than 0, that's true, first iteration. And then I minus minus, here the value of I becomes 3, and 3 is greater than 0. Yeah, second iteration is also possible. And then 3 minus minus, the value of I is now 2, 2 is greater than 0, third iteration is possible. Then next the value of I is 1, 1 is greater than 0, and the fourth iteration that's possible, and then next the value of I is 0, 0 is not greater than 0, the condition has failed, and the compiler exits the loop. I think you got this. Now we'll jump to for loop again. See, first I have given my code like C plus equal to 10. See, the increment or decrement is done here. There is no need to write here. If you write here, the increment will be twice. Here the I plus plus becomes 1, and now here it will becomes 2. Okay, I think you got this. Here the increment is done here. See, I'll explain. First, the value of I is initialized like 0. Okay, the value of I is 0. Next, it sees the condition. After initialization is done, the compiler checks the condition. The compiler checks the condition. What is the condition? 0 is less than 4. Yeah, that's true. If the condition is true, the compiler going to jump into the loop directly. Okay, the compiler will jump into the loop directly. What is here? The whatever code written here is going to be evaluated. Here the value of C is 12. Then after completing the block of code written in the loop, the compiler will go into like it will increment or decrement according to this. Okay, what is here? Here it is given like I plus plus. After first iteration is done, after first the compiler checks the initialization. Yeah, it is initialized like I is 0. Okay, then next the compiler jumps to the condition. Yeah, condition is true. The compiler jumps into the code which is written in the curly braces. The compiler evaluates the code. After that is done, the compiler goes to increment or decrement part. See, the cycle is like this. Okay, what is the value of I? The value of I is 1. Then after the value of I is 1, the compiler goes back to check the condition. Okay, no, this initialization is only for the first iteration, because you have initialized a variable. That's it. The compiler never goes into that again. Only the compiler checks the condition, and then after it implements the block of code whichever written in the code, and then it goes directly to the increment or decrement part, and then after attaining a new I value, the compiler checks the condition again, then again it goes to the block of code, and then next to the increment part. This cycle follows until the condition is false. See, the I value is 1, incremented. After incrementing, the compiler checks the condition, because the value of I has changed now. It has to check the condition. The value 1 is less than 4. That is true. After that is true, the compiler now comes to the block of code C plus equal to 10. Here the value of C is 22. Okay, and the compiler again goes back to increment or decrement part. Now what is increment or decrement part? Now here becomes I value becomes 2, and now the compiler checks the condition, because it has attained the I has attained a new value. I became 2 now. Previously it was 1, now it became 2. 2 is less than 4. When 2 is less than 4, yeah, the condition is true. The block of code which I have written is going to be implemented. C plus equal to 10, that is going to be implemented. Now C value becomes 32, and then it goes to the increment or decrement part. I value is 3. Now I value becomes 3. As I has attained a new value, it has to check the condition. So 3 is less than 4. That's true. And now if the condition is true, the compiler is going to enter the loop. What it is? The code is written like C plus equal to 10. The value of C is 32. The value of C becomes 42 after this. Then after this, the compiler goes to increment or decrement part. I plus plus. The value of I become 4. As I has attained a new value, it has to check the condition. 4 is not less than 4. The compiler has met a false condition, and it exits the loop. I think you understood this. While loop and for loop are same. Every loop statement is same, but only the syntax differs. Okay, in while loop the incrementation is done. I'll explain the difference between while loop and for loop. See, while loop I've written like while I is less than 4. In while loop the initialization is done before the loop. Okay, int I value is 0, and I've written like c plus equal to 10, and I've incremented here versus for loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus c plus equal to 10. That's it. Here what happens here is the initialization is done before the loop. Okay, that's okay. I value is 0. Here the I value is 0 and 0 is less than 4. Yeah, that's true. This will be going to be executed. I plus plus, here the I value becomes 1 and it goes to the condition, it checks, it implements the code. Here the increment or decrement part, and then it goes to the condition, it checks if the condition is true, it goes to the code implementation. After code is implemented, it goes to the iteration part, no, increment or decrement part. After increment is done, as I has attained a new value, it goes back to, see, the cycle remains same in every loop, but only the syntax changes. I've written I plus plus here in the bottom of the statement, in the bottom of the code, bottom of the loop. Here I've written I plus plus in the starting of the loop. That's the only difference. The syntax and the working of code remains same. Here see, a value is 0. Yeah, this part is done. This part remove it from the loop. This part is done. Don't think of it. I have initialized I as 0. Okay, the value of I is 0. The value of 0 is carried here, and then it checks the condition. Yeah, it's true. It is going to be, it is going to implement this code, and after that it goes back to iteration part, increment or decrement part. Here the value is incremented and it checks back the condition. The condition is true, the code is being implemented, and then it goes back to increment or decrement part, and then it checks the condition. The condition is true, and then it implements the code. As the condition is true, it implements the code, and then again it goes back to increment or decrement part, and then it checks the condition. See, this cycle remains same in for loop and also in while loop. You got, I think you got this condition. The cycle remains same. First, the value of I is initialized in for loop. It is initialized in the loop. In the while loop, it is initialized before the loop, and then after initialization is done, yeah, forget about it, and then we'll check the condition. If the condition is true, in while loop it is going to be implemented the code, and then we'll make a command like we have to increment or decrement part according to our requirements. And then after I or j or k, any variable, after incrementing or the new value is assigned to it, it checks back the condition. If the condition is true, the code is being implemented. See, this cycle remains same in every loop. I think you understood for loop, while loop. We'll do for loop. We'll write a code for loop also. Actually, this is written in while loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. See, whatever you write, you have that must be in curly braces. That must be enclosed in curly braces. I'm running it. To see, I didn't keep the condition. Okay, c plus equal to 10. Now after that we have to print c, right? Print c. C 42. That's true. Every loop, you take any loop, right? While loop, do while loop. We'll discuss do while loop in the next video. While loop, do while loop, or for loop. The syntax, the cycle which I have said, the cycle now, the cycle remains same. Only the syntax, there is a little bit change in syntax. Okay, we can like put like I is equal to 1. I've initialized like 1, and I putting like I is less than or equal to 4. That's true. That is the main goal of mine is to iterate it 4 times. Yeah, that is being done. C42. I think you got this. Yeah, I know that you will be in a you will be in a little bit state of confusion. That confusion is cleared in while you do problems. We'll do problems on patterns. in upcoming videos. Stay tuned for that. We'll master loops. That's it, guys. We'll master loops at any cost, because these are very important. I think I've tried my level best to explain you about the loops. I think you got this, but you don't get it. If you didn't get it also, there is no problem. That's not an issue. If you do problems, if you do first problem, you'll see some like somewhat difficulty, and second problem you'll get used to it. In third problem you'll go into master it. That's it. In next video we'll discuss do while loop. Okay, that's it for the day, guys. Bye.